Hello and welcome to Squabble, a noisy quarrel about something petty or trivial. I'm Carter.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we are quarreling about
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Yeah.
The man himself, the one, the only.
Yep, the one,
Infamous.
the only. We do. If you're watching, you've already noticed we have some new sound equipment.
Yes. The pop guards.
If you're listening, you've probably also noticed because it sounds so much better.
Close, you can't hear this. Well, you can't hear it, but it doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah, we got some pop guards. We look really professional when we say pop guard. It doesn't it doesn't like destroy your eardrums, or it shouldn't
Pop or make a gross scratchy sound in the mic.
Yep. We are constantly improving. And that is why you should stay and listen to every single episode.
You can grow with us, viewers.
Not in weight,
listeners.
Though. Unless you're trying to gain weight, Some people do that. Anyway, like Bigfoot, he probably weighs a ton.
A few tons.
Yeah. Let's get into this.
Okay, so
Jacob has done the research for why he thinks Bigfoot is real, and he's going to try to convince me. And I am easily convincible.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not going to say, I'm right off the bat, I'm going to hedge a little bit. I'm not going to say that I agree 100% that Bigfoot is real, but right. I definitely think there's a large possibility, larger than what most people believe.
Are you trying to make a pun here? Larger is a big possibility.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so this first thing I'm going to read, this is called 5 Reasons Bigfoot Absolutely Exists.
Wow. Okay.
Now, this guy, he is a little crazy. I'm not going to endorse or condone everything that he says, but let's get into it. So he has I'll just read his intro. I was amused this week when my friend Casey Phillips, a writer for the Times Free Press, asked readers for input on a story he was writing about Bigfoot.
Can I pause you right there?
Yeah, right off the bat.
Yeah. This doesn't really necessarily pertain to Bigfoot, but we did have some people comment on our podcast, and let me just lay the groundwork here. We're arguing. That's what the podcast is about, squabbling. But we're not necessarily going to always. Well, I defined squabble in the beginning. It's a quarrel. And we're not always going to quarrel with each other. We might quarrel with you, the listener. We might quarrel
someone on the internet,
with this guy's website. We might have a quarrel with popular media. It's not. This isn't debate club.
No,
it's definitely not
nearly as many rules.
It's just a squabble.
Rules are for losers.
Yep, it's just a noisy
rules are for cowards.
Okay. Yep. So we're ditching the rules. We're off-roaders. And so this episode we're just going to be quarreling with this dude.
I agree with him.
This one we are quarreling with each other. I'm quarreling with Jacob.
I somewhat agree with the fact that Bigfoot could exist.
But we got some comments on our GIF versus GIF episode where we both agreed. But we're squabbling, and quarreling. I combined the words with you listeners, or we're with people who think,
or that guy who created the website.
Yes, we're squabbling with him. So. Anyway, please continue with the Bigfoot.
Yeah, his friend works for a magazine or a newspaper, and he was asking readers for input on a story about Bigfoot. We'll pick up where we left off. People were insistent, absurdly so, that a respectable news organization wouldn't ask such a question of its readers.
Wait, so this guy is asking his audience for Bigfoot evidence?
No, his friend. Oh. This is just an intro.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so anyways, they're making fun of him and all that. He gets a little defensive. He says, "What you simpletons don't understand is that Bigfoot is absolutely, in all caps, and indisputably real. Science cannot explain the unexplainable. They are among us. You just have to open your eyes."
They?
There's definitely more Bigfoots.
Oh,
Bigfoot is the name of his species. Come on, man. Any person that knows anything about Bigfoot knows that there's not just one.
Okay. Well, I do know that now.
Okay.
I guess.
Here we go. Anecdotes are enough. That's his first point. If a single person is witness to something extraordinary, regardless of how outlandish that something is, science must step up and prove they are in the wrong. That is the way the Academy of Science operates, and for good reasons. As uneducated non-scientists, the burden of proof is up to the experts. If we completely dismiss the thousands of reporting sightings from outside the continent, we still have hard evidence in the form of eyewitness accounts of an ape-like beast as far back as 1811. So people have been telling these stories since 1811. How do you explain that? You think they just made that up? They're just lying?
I would say they are seeing something that they're misinterpreting what they see.
Then why do almost all the ones I've read, all of their descriptions of the thing they saw all line up exactly the same?
Well,
they're all either 8 to 10 feet, black hair, super hairy.
Okay, so let me say, I have also seen Bigfoot.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not kidding. Jacob just laughed. You're probably laughing. No joke. I'm being 100% serious. I have seen Bigfoot. I'm no joke. Me, my dad, we're driving down the road. I think we're going to Chick-fil-A, and we're driving, and the way we get to Chick-fil-A is we go behind this big mall, and behind the mall is this big giant open field. Okay. In all seriousness, we were driving, we looked out the window, and there was a dude dressed as Bigfoot.
Yeah, he was dressed as Bigfoot.
Well, I'm assuming it was a dude dressed as Bigfoot,
okay.
But what it looked like was just Bigfoot. It was flat out Bigfoot. Bigfoot was walking across the field.
Was he 8 to 10 feet tall?
He was 8 to 10 feet tall. He had dark hair, completely hairy, looked like Chewbacca. He was doing the walk, all that the pictures all show him in. No joke. I'm 100% serious. I have a picture on my Instagram of this.
Shout out to your Instagram.
Shout out to my Instagram at emptybox38. Yes. So I'm very, very persuadable right now, but I do think that was just a dude dressed up.
Yeah, I would say that one, even though I'm a Bigfoot advocate, I would say that one probably was just a dude dressed up, considering that you saw him outside of a mall, not in the woods or at
he was
night
outside
or
of a mall
in the middle of the day, just out next to a mall. So I would bet that one was probably just someone doing a publicity stunt or something along the lines of that.
But can I bring up an argument against you?
Yeah, sure. Bring up an argument.
How come us as scientists? Yes, because I'm a scientist.
Us, both of us.
We don't have any. We haven't found a body or done any. I mean, come on. Every single species that we know of, we have some sort of proof. We have the species either in captivity or we've killed it and we have evidence.
Okay. How about, first of all, we found hair. We found DNA. We found footprints.
DNA.
Yeah, DNA samples in the hair and in the feces. There's scientists saying that they're like a group of scientists saying they got the DNA for Bigfoot.
How come all?
But okay, but to my second point, do you believe in Jesus?
Do I believe in Jesus?
Yes.
Are you comparing Jesus to Bigfoot?
I'm saying it takes faith to believe in things.
Okay.
Do you have a body? Do you have proof for God of His existence?
Man, this is gonna get deep if you're bringing God into this.
Do you have physical evidence of God?
Do I have physical evidence? The trees around us, the world.
Okay, but that's not direct evidence. That is indirect evidence. I've got just as much evidence of Bigfoot as you do for God. Just saying.
That is borderline blasphemous.
Okay, fine.
But
maybe not so much. But physical as in physical like you said you have to find. Do you have the body? Do you have a corpse?
Sure. So you're saying
when it comes to everything you said, we need to decide if it's real. You believe in things that we don't have that much of.
So you're saying Bigfoot is extremely sneaky.
Do you believe in Nikolai Tesla? Have you seen his body?
Do I believe in Nikolai Tesla?
Yeah, you've not seen his body.
Well, that's a good point. See? But
Albert Einstein.
But how come I can look up pictures of this? That's a good point. I know what you're doing. You're gonna just go to Google search, type in Bigfoot,
for some
and find
reason
some
one of my
really
tabs
realistic,
closed.
photoshopped photos. They're photoshopped, right?
No, let me show you. Look at that one. Does that look photoshopped to you? This is a picture, a black and white picture.
How do I know that's not a
Bigfoot.
dude dressed as Bigfoot walking through the mall?
Well, I can tell you why, because we've got this person saying what
please
happened.
Continue.
Here we go. This is a different website. Now, this is from Animal Planet. This is a for real place.
Whoa, Bigfoot's on Animal Planet?
Yeah, well, there's a TV show on Animal Planet called Finding Bigfoot. If that's not proof enough, I don't know what is. Anyways.
That's probably your most convincing point so far, that Bigfoot is on a national television.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, can I say, don't you wish we lived back in the times when you could just trust people?
Do I wish that I could trust people?
You could shake a man's hand, shake a man's hand, look him in the eyes, and believe what he's saying, and not have to be skeptical of everything you see.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I guess I missed the days. Sure. Yeah.
Well, then bring them back. Here's this is a interview. This is a small article about someone that's seen Bigfoot.
I'm reading
this. This is from Animal Planet. We assume Bigfoot crossed the road to get to the other side, as the old joke
is this
goes.
A joke? Oh, okay.
But with the enigmatic hominoid, nobody knows for sure. Here's what we do know. On June 22nd, 2009, not that long ago, at around 6:30 p.m., a 19-year-old college student was driving on a curvy back road near Rhinebeck, New York.
Whoa, Bigfoot's in New York?
There's Bigfoots everywhere, all across the country.
Would it be big feet?
I think it's Bigfoots.
Okay.
On the way to a rehearsal at a nearby performing arts center, according to the BFRO report, which is people that work for Finding Bigfoot. They're like Bigfoot professionals.
Okay, so according to the Bigfoot
so he's
professionals.
driving to a rehearsal at a nearby performing arts center. As he swerved to miss an object on the road, a shopping bag containing, oddly, an open cereal box and a small log, he glanced in his rearview mirror and saw someone or something darting behind his car, apparently to retrieve the bag. A moment later, the student stopped and turned his car around and got a 3 to 4 second glimpse.
Are we assuming that Bigfoot was shopping?
No, he found a shopping. It's in the woods. You know, there's lots of trash. in the woods.
And Bigfoot picked up the shopping.
No, it
bag.
It flew in the wind, and he was chasing it down because it had like trash in it, like an animal, like a raccoon.
Bigfoot was chasing the bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
he wanted the cereal.
Yeah.
I understand.
He got a 3 to 4 second glimpse of quote something walking on 2 feet end quote about 50 feet away. He described the creature, which he saw. We're almost done. Which he saw from the rear side profile as being 7 and 7.5 feet. 7.5 feet tall, covered with black hair and possessing broad, muscular shoulders with arms that swung in an exaggerated fashion and palms that faced upwards. The witness recalled that he felt, quote, nervous, confused, and excited at the same time during his brief encounter.
He was excited.
I'd be excited if I found Bigfoot. I don't know about you. So anyways, you're saying you don't believe that guy? You think that guy's full of it? Think that guy's BSing the entire world?
It's hard to I mean, it's his word against mine. It's his word against everybody's, I guess. Because he has no evidence, but neither does anyone else, I guess. But couldn't he have just seen a bear? Oh, that's a bear. He said it was dark. It was nighttime, and he saw.
Okay, how about this next one?
This
is another one. Okay, this is a lady. I think this is the right one. Yeah, here we go. It was about 6:15 on the morning of September 1st, 2009. A woman commuting to a job in Rifle, Colorado, was feeling a little groggy on her way to work, despite her usual cup of takeout coffee.
This is it's written like a mystery novel.
Like a novel, yeah. Just before she started up through Independence Pass, she decided to pull her truck over to the side of the road and get a little fresh air, like you do. As she got out of the truck, she noticed some movement in the meadow directly ahead of her. At first, she thought it might be a bear, just like you. But when the creature stood up, she saw that its arms hung to its side, just like a person.
Bears' arms hang to their side when they stand up. Have you seen a bear stand up?
Yes, and their palms don't face upwards like the last guy said they did, like a human. This isn't actually the one I was thinking of, even though that lady did say, here's the quote from her. She said, the witness admitted that she had always poo-pooed the possibility of such creatures existing, but said, quote, my life is forever changed.
I'd like to comment on the poo-pooed.
That was a quote. That was her. I mean, people in Colorado are weird. She's probably
high. That's true. Sorry.
Okay. Here's someone that you can really trust. Here we go. I won't get to all the details, but 8 to 9 feet, just like everybody else said. 7 to 10 feet, that's about where people say how tall he is. She looked up to see a tall, hairy creature, and this lady was a hunter. Or she was here we go. The BFRO investigator who interviewed the witness noted she was a former deer hunter and experienced in the outdoors, and thus unlikely to have mistaken the creature for another large animal. She's an animal expert. You don't think she would have mistaken it? Here Here we go. This is a quote from the BFRO investigator. I'm sure that a Bigfoot's curiosity would be heightened by a new woman living in a previously unoccupied house in a litter full of puppies. See? So he heard she just moved in. Bigfoot heard the animal, just like any other animal, gets just excited and scared and
so
curious.
All this evidence is based on eyewitness accounts alone.
Oh, well, listen to this guy's. This guy's is the most exciting one. This is the guy. I'm back to the other guy, the crazy guy.
Okay.
And first off, I would like to say that he believes that these Bigfoots are out to get us. This was the end of one of his other things. He said, we should instead be worried when they will attack. Perhaps a little research on our part would be better than ignoring what could be a disastrous interspecies slaughter. But what do I know?
He thinks that Bigfoot's after us? He thinks
for sure.
He thinks Bigfoot's going to take over the world?
Here we go. We must prepare ourselves for the inevitability of that first pushback. They are there, hiding and waiting for our defenses to drop. We must not let them succeed.
So this guy started like a conspiracy theory.
Here's a little. This is going to get a little.
Or Big Feet.
This is going to get a little. What's it called? Controversial. Yeah. You ready? This is what he says.
That's what this podcast is all about.
Yeah. Many people believe and incorporate into their lives stranger ideas than the existence of Bigfoot. He's saying that we live in an era of logical skepticism. Everybody's skeptical about anything, but people integrate weird ideas into their lives, some weirder than Bigfoot. And he says, take the pseudoscience behind global warming, a ridiculous concept that many people not only believe, but alter their lives around. There's far more evidence for Bigfoot than for global warming. We just don't want to believe in Bigfoot because it means we are not as smart as we thought we were.
Now that's a interesting point.
And then he finishes this point off with, we are afraid of the light of Bigfoot, and that's why they're going to kill us. So he thinks they're going to kill us.
So I've heard a lot of Bigfoot arguments, and I've heard a lot of eyewitness accounts of Bigfoot, and I have watched a few
Finding Bigfoot show?
Parts of the Finding Bigfoot show.
Yeah, my favorite show.
Although I have never heard of Bigfoots wanting to take over.
Yeah, they're going to kill us.
This is new to me.
They want revenge because we've been hunting them since the 1800s. Now, here's this guy's. This guy's is probably the most entertaining eyewitness account.
Okay.
Here it is. I've seen Bigfoot twice, in fact. The first was as a boy in the mountains of eastern Tennessee. I was walking with my younger brother down the creek on a cloudy evening in late autumn. We were attempting to fetch crawdads for Ma's soup when we heard a hootin' and rustlin' across about 75 yards to the west of where we were standing. We thought it was one of our cows initially, but realized that this creature was no cow. Instead, it was attempting to eat one of our cows. It was about 8 feet tall, and we could smell the odor of a million dirty diapers. We yelled at it to scat on, and it sauntered back into the brush. My brother would kill me for telling you this, but he urinated on himself, and I cried. And then he said, it wasn't until I visited Chattanooga's little curiosity shop on Market Street that I came face to face again with the Bigfoot of my youth. Again, I cried, and we will all be crying if we ignore this evidence. There we go.
So wait, how old did he say he was?
Well, the first time he was a boy, the little boy, and the second time he was older.
So what he just said was, as a boy, he saw Bigfoot. He saw a humanoid creature eating a cow.
Yeah,
and he said, and didn't it say he just said to tell it? He told it to scat.
Oh,
he saw a humanoid thing. He saw Chewbacca eating a cow, and he was he just told it to go away.
Yeah, he yelled at it. I mean, wouldn't you?
I don't think I would. I think I would leave.
Well, you'd yell. He yelled at it to scat on.
I don't know.
Listen, he's from Eastern Tennessee back in like the 80s or whatever, assuming this guy's somewhat old. If he was young, I mean, they were weird back then. Eastern Tennessee.
Sorry, I'm having issues with my mic.
Yeah, you're good. While you're doing that, I can read another another eyewitness account. This is he's talking about he was in the woods because he was hunting. Here we go. As he was walking, he noticed. This is a deer hunter. As he was walking, he noticed a very large animal walking about 10 yards ahead on the trail. Oddly, while it didn't appear to be running, the animal seemed to cover about 15 to 20 feet in just 2 strides. It made no noticeable noise. These are killers. These are genetic killers. The hunter clicked on his flashlight. Quote, what I saw made my hair stand on end, he wrote in his report. The creature was between 7 and 7.5 feet tall, and he estimated that it weighed around 500 pounds. It It was muscular and covered with dark fur with long arms and a slightly hunched posture. I've seen a few bears in my life, and I know positively that it was not a bear, he explained in his report. He knows it was not. He's seen a few bears, and he was positive that it was not a bear. Here we go. The creature quickly moved down a hillside and was gone after a few seconds. It all happened quickly that he never even thought of using the digital camera he had with him. I used to think that, this is what a quote from him. I used to think that Sasquatch couldn't exist because there would be tons of pictures, he admitted. But now I can see why that isn't true. Because he was like, well, I could take a picture, so I guess nobody else would.
Well, hold on. So apparently when he sees bears, though, he takes pictures.
No, well, he's just had a digital camera with him, as you do when you go hunting.
So how come there are, like, perfect pictures of bears? Like there are like
because
quality
we've discovered them.
Shots of bears that they're like amazing, beautiful photography.
Here we go.
Centered around bears.
Back to this crazy
guy. How about Bigfoot? Why aren't there any pictures of Bigfoot that are blurry?
There are pictures of Bigfoot.
And
because he likes to hide
pictures.
And there's not very many of them. That's
because he likes to hide.
No. Here we go. This is what this crazy guy wrote. We must think of the children of Sasquatches and wonder how we would feel if we were in a similar situation. Can you imagine how difficult it is for Bigfoot parents to raise their offspring in a constant state of alert, wandering pursuit? What if someone were chasing after you and your kids all the time? Yeah, I'd be angry too.
Hold on.
The offspring of Bigfoots, the offspring of Bigfoots, just like, what the heck? It's no wonder that generations of Bigfoots are now programmed to run away and hide at the first sight of a human. See, the kids have been raised since the 1800s.
He said because they're scared because they're all being hunted.
Well, yeah, we're constantly after him.
Who?
The Bigfoot finders, the people trying to find him.
So one group of people?
A large percent of people. Have you seen the show?
A large percent.
I'm sure that
of
show's got a pretty big
Bigfoot
budget.
Hunters. The Bigfoot hunters are like,
okay, well, yeah, but they've still been
10
hunted.
guys.
You can't imagine that if someone sees him, this guy's sparked their interest. They're going to go after it, or at least make a big deal about it.
This guy is claiming that
when
the
you see
whole world is hunting Bigfoot.
Okay, if you saw Bigfoot, you're saying you wouldn't do something about it? Call like the 911 or something like, oh, there's this weird animal. He's 10 feet tall.
Would I call 911 if I saw Bigfoot? I guess I would. Maybe.
Yeah.
If it was attacking.
And then they would then take further steps from there. When you see a bear, you just go, oh, look, it's a bear out there. Oh, and you drive back.
I don't think anybody says, oh, look, it's a bear right there.
Well,
That's
I mean, if
cute.
you're like driving down the road, like down a backwoods, like in the woods, you know what I'm talking about. We saw one in Canada. We drove right by it.
Sure.
We didn't stop and try to hunt it down or shine our flashlight on it.
He's saying that Sasquatchi. He's saying Sasquatch.
Sasquatches.
Is it Bigfoot or Big Feet?
I don't know. Let me look it up. Plural of Bigfoot.
Anyway, I mean, these are all eyewitness accounts. Is the only thing that wouldn't hold up in court. And if this guy's saying that there's like a whole community of Bigfoots, he's saying that like. They're raising. Well, no, they're like they got a town somewhere. They got like where are they all living?
They're not people. Okay, let's just look at it from a scientific.
He's saying they got motives. Man.
No, okay,
they're
angry.
hunting us.
Animals can get angry. Okay, what I'm saying. Okay, that's one guy. I think the large amount of Bigfoot enthusiasts would disagree with this guy. But anyways, what I'm saying is from a scientific standpoint, it's not that far fetched to assume that there's a very endangered species of some sort of monkey type creature out there.
Okay, I can definitely agree with that.
I mean, think about all the things we haven't discovered. It's like the scientists say we've discovered only there's still 70% of the ocean undiscovered. Think of all the animals there.
Bigfoot's living in the ocean.
That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying it goes for everything. We don't know everything.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I definitely don't think we know everything, and I don't think we've discovered everything. And I think there's definitely
there's a new species of deer
and species that we don't know about yet, but something that has been around since, what'd you say, the 1800s that we've known about, and we haven't been able to gather any evidence for besides eyewitness accounts, and that's pretty much it. That's all the evidence.
Okay, a new species of deer was discovered in like 2011. Why hadn't we discovered that?
That's a good question, but we did discover it, and
in 2011, we're still getting to Bigfoot.
I don't know, man.
And you don't think that the reason that we're not finding them is because scientists are like you and they don't take it seriously. They say, "Oh, Bigfoot's not real. We don't need to put the work into it." That's why there's such a little amount of scientists, because they're all thinking like you are. We don't got to put the work into finding it.
That is true. I don't have any faith in scientists. Scientists are they're crazy, and I definitely agree with this guy about global warming too.
Is that there's more proof for Bigfoot?
Yep. Yes.
Look, we still got 4 more of these eyewitness accounts I could show you.
Okay, give me one more.
One more? Let's see. Let me see if I can find a good one. Here we go. In July 2009, a worker was returning home from a deck building job at about 6 p.m. As he drove through a wooded area near houses and a school, he noticed what at first appeared to be a man standing on the side of the road. As the car got closer, however, the man suddenly bolted into the woods like a wild animal spooked by a human presence. The wild man. The driver slowed down and watched the creature run about 30 yards and then make a turn, which enabled the driver to get a better look at him. Unlike other reports that depict Bigfoot as gigantic, the driver said that the creature was about 6 feet and 200 pounds. He said this could possibly be like a female Bigfoot. And 200 pounds. He said the creature was covered with shaggy, rust-colored fur and ran with a strange hoppy bounding motion. He said it was either real or there was a man in a very, very convincing costume, the witness reported.
Okay, so I also did a little Google search while you're reading that.
Okay.
And I found this little this DNA thing you're talking about. Is there Bigfoot DNA? Because that seems, that's proof, right? If you got DNA for something, it obviously exists or it has existed.
Yeah.
So let me read this from sciencenews.org. See if I disagree.
Fake news.
So in 2012, Skies and his colleague Michael of the Museum of Zoology in Switzerland posted a call for hair and other samples thought to be from Yetis, Bigfoot, or any other species unknown to science. The researchers would compare stretches of DNA to known species in the database, which catalogs thousands of species. So I guess they found some DNA. They don't know where it's from. They're going to put it into the database, see if it matches anything. In came the hairs. There were hairs from famous expeditions, including a trek by Sir Edmund Hillary, hairs from museums, Buddhist relics, and Sykes says, quote, quite a lot of material from Bigfoot enthusiasts in the United States, end quote. Skies whittled down 95 samples to 37 that were most interesting based on the circumstances of their collection. Of those 37, the team was able to extract DNA from 30. Okay, so out of the 95, they got 30 strong samples. Quote, a lot of them turned out to be very ordinary animals in their natural habitats. End quote. As the team reports, July 1st, and the proceeding of the Royal Society B, supposed Yeti and Bigfoot samples turned out to come from bears, horses, raccoons, one human, some canines, cows, sheep of North America. Oh, the North American porcupine. So basically, they got all these hairs, but they all
So what about
were
the human
fake.
canine? Why couldn't they narrow that one down, huh?
Not the human canine.
Oh, the human canine.
One human and some
I
canines.
meant to say the human or the canine. Okay.
Yeah,
we already
Bigfoot,
say monkeys
the
are
human
really.
canine.
We already say monkey DNA is very close to humans.
Whoa,
There could have
hold
been a
on.
mix-up. Or what about the canine? Why couldn't they do? It said right there in the notes. Why couldn't they decide if it was a wolf or a dog? Huh? Because the machine is not very reliable.
Oh, you're saying the scientists' methods are unreliable.
I'm saying that they could be.
Let me go on because he says something else. He says, but 2 hair samples from the Himalayas were a surprise. These hairs, both brownish in color, perfectly matched a short stretch of DNA once extracted from the jawbone of a 40,000-year-old polar bear. The hairs did not match modern polar bears. One hair came from an animal shot 40 years ago in India by a hunter who reported that it behaved differently from typical brown bears.
See, those people just didn't know what Bigfoot was, so they just assumed it was a bear. Those were Bigfoots and Yetis right there, my dude.
So
Case closed.
Let's see. He says
even the science isn't reliable.
The researcher's best guess is that the hairs are from either an unknown bear species or
AKA
a hybrid
Bigfoot.
of a brown bear and a polar bear. Such hybrids are known in the Arctic, but genetically resemble modern rather than ancient polar bears. So this DNA they found,
It doesn't match anything.
it did match. Well,
It matched a
a
bunch
short
of
part of the
40-year-old.
DNA matched a 40,000-year-old polar bear. So this is kind of good evidence. What if Bigfoot evolved from
Yeah, he's a different species of
polar
bear.
bears?
Microevolution is a thing.
Microevolution.
Yeah, microevolution.
Not
Yeah, microevolution is 100% real. That's been proven.
but not
Macro, which is
Macro.
evolution in general. But microevolution, 100% been proven. It could have been a bear, or it might not even evolve from anything. It might just been one of the original animals, you know?
a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's who knows? Bigfoot could be a type of bear. Most people say he's a monkey type, human type thing. He could be kind of like a bear, or it could be a mix. We've seen the platypus. That's like 3 different animals in one. It could be a bear monkey man.
Okay, so we got one more little part here. He says maybe some scientists would be willing to test cryptid samples, but it takes money and time. So the scientists, they get sent in Bigfoot hairs all the time apparently, but they don't test them because they don't believe in Bigfoot and it takes time and money. He says no scientist working at a university or lab capable of genetic analysis has, quote, testing Bigfoot samples, end quote, in their job description. It's probably safe to say. Plus, it costs psych $2,000 to analyze each Yeti DNA sample, and not many Bigfoot enthusiasts are keen to pay.
See,
so
the reason we haven't found him yet is because scientists won't do it. They're saying they're skeptical, and they're saying, oh yeah, we can't do that. That's so much money for something we don't know.
yeah,
if it
so they're
exists.
saying that they have a lot of evidence that might be evidence,
But they can't check it.
But they can't put it.
Have I changed your mind yet?
They can't. Not really. You know, eyewitness accounts they don't hold up. You know, you can't.
I think they do. I don't know.
I
I
mean,
trust people. I'm
I
a good
guess.
person.
You can't trust 100% eyewitness accounts, especially when it has been. I mean, people say some stupid stuff. You got to admit, and I'm not going to advise not trusting people, but I think what you can take out of this episode is that some people will say things, and they don't have any evidence to back it up. So I advise everybody listening
Do
or
their own
watching.
research.
Exactly.
We said that at the end of every one of these.
we kind of do, but it's
That's
true,
our
and this
thing.
one is especially true. There's going to be some people that say some stuff that some people I don't know if you're listening and you believe these people. Well, good for you.
I do.
If you're Jacob and you believe these people, good for you.
Okay.
But you gotta turn around and you gotta evaluate. You know, you gotta look it up for yourself and say, is this
You
plausible?
want to end this episode with one more sighting?
Sure.
Just to end it all.
Hit me up.
October 25th, 2010.
But wait. Read it like it's like a mystery novel.
On October 25th, 2010, a man was watching a movie at about 1 a.m. when he heard a noise outside his house that sounded like a long blast from a car or a police siren. He hit the mute on this TV and realized that the sound was more like the howl of an injured animal. He assumed that it was a bear or a mountain lion. The next evening, a friend came to pick him up to drive to a casino at about 8 p.m. The two men had driven about 4 miles when they both heard the noise once again. This is 2 people. They slowed down and the noise stopped. They resumed driving, but then suddenly had to swerve to avoid a car ahead of them that had abruptly stopped. It was then that the 2 gamblers spotted what appeared to be a man-like creature at least 10 feet away, tall, covered in dark brown or black hair, with eyes that glowed from the reflections of their headlights. Humans don't do that, the witness explained to this report. After 20 to 30 seconds, the creature walked off with a fluid gait that definitely was non-human, and the 2 men quickly drove off in fear. They came home that evening by a different route to avoid another encounter. The witness now describes himself as a true believer in Bigfoot.
Wow. Well, but he added something.
Okay, fine. He added, if it's Bigfoot or not, I don't want it to come around my house. I mean,
yeah, you can't cut off the story because it doesn't support
my
you.
agenda.
Okay. Well, I think we've both learned something. Not anything really important, but we've learned something. Hopefully everyone listening hears our voices, and we sound a lot better because we got all this new equipment.
Well,
and
two pieces of equipment.
Yeah, all this equipment being these two pieces, two little things. But we're going to keep improving.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, please do.
At Squabble Podcast. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, because it really helps us out. You can also listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks again. But also, let me add one more thing. If you're on iTunes and you want to write us if you're not on iTunes, if you are or not on iTunes, you can still go to iTunes and write us a review.
Please do. Hopefully 5 stars.
Yes, give us 5 stars if you think
6 if it'll let you.
10 if it'll let you go all the way. But give us your honest opinion. If you think it's a 4-star show, we want to know so we can improve.
Or just give us 5 stars too. That works also.
Yep. And also, if you guys have suggestions on what we could squabble about, you just comment or email us.
Or you can leave it on an Instagram post or something like that.
Yeah, a comment on our Instagram, and I guess that's it. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll snap you later. Thank you.